Restore this divine grace. Abhay Sharanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON Foundation Prabhupada ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. VBT Samtak Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Ho Vishnu Pad Paramams Pravijkacharya Restore this divine grace. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Maharaj Thakur ki jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnavanda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Thakur ki jai. प्रेम सको जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ राधा कृष्ण गिरिगोवर्धन की जय। वृंदावन गोकुल द्वारकाधाम की जय। जगन्नाथ प्रधाम की जय। नवदीप माय प्रधाम की जय। गंगा प्रेममय की जय। भक्त तुलसी देव की जय। सामवेद भक्तवृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंद की जय। All glorious blessings, all glorious blessings, all glorious श्री grand Gaura। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकनामय्यं ददाति सुपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदाकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं हंसजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितां च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ब्रह्मण्य देवाय गोब्राह्मणहिताय च जगद्धिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजाङ्घ्रे आनन्दलीलामय विग्रहाय हेमावदिव्याच विसुन्दराय तस्मै महाप्रेम रसप्रदाय चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। चैतन्यचन्द्राय नमो नमस्ते। चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते। हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं Tatho Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Hare Krishna. So we had 2 classes earlier, but we had only hardly 2 or 3 devotees sitting. So today we have a bigger audience. Hare Krishna. So this is very special, you know, in Srimad Bhagavatam, when Sukadeva Goswami or Sutta Goswami, when they are speaking, they were talking about the audience also. The audience were very much eager to hear about Krishna. So when we are glorifying Caitanya Mahaprabhu, those who are very much attached to Sankirtan, that is good to speak in front of them because they will love to hear about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurum Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataya Swamiti Nami. Namo Acharya Pradaya Nikaya Kripa Pradaya Gaura Katha Namadaya. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Nami. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharya Visheshinya Pashadati. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaurav. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Ram. Mukham Karoti Vachalam Angam Nandete Krimet Kripatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhava. Pancha Kalpataru Vishya Kripa Sindhu Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavi. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay, Prabhuji, today's coordinator, I need to share. Media coordinator. Brother Saka Prabhu is there. Brother Saka Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
You're already can share. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, ISKCON by logged in ISKCON Bahrain.
Yes, Prabhu, but your audible is when your direct device is audible very clearly.
No, sharing document. Share screen. Thank you.
Oh, share screen. You can share, Prabhu.
No, it's supposed to disable participant screen sharing.
Okay.
Which is your device?
No, this laptop, Lenovo.
What is the name of that?
The laptop name, you mean? IdeaPad Flex 5. IDO plus IDO.
The name in which you have joined.
Zoom ID. ISKCON Bahrain. Yeah, ISKCON Bahrain.
Okay. Wait.
I logged in ISKCON Bahrain. Yeah. Hare Krishna. So before I start today's session number 3, I offer my obeisances to all the devotees here, especially our president, and also our senior devotee, His Grace Ragam Patnan Prabhu, Mangalras Prabhuji, Kirtanesh Prabhuji, and all the Vaishnavis here. And also my Guru Maharaj, his name is Day3-Sri Guru Maharaj, our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, and all our Vaishnava Acharyas, and also all the Sampradaya Acharyas of the 4 Sampradayas, because we are trying to glorify them. And also our worshipable lordships here, Shri Krishna Balaram Bhagavan, Shri Radha Krishna Bhagavan, Shri Gaurita Bhagavan, Shri Jagannath Baladevan, Shri Narasimha Bhagavan, and all our senior God brothers and Shiksha Gurus. Hare Krishna. So today we will start the same subject, Gauravani Pracharine and Nirvishesha Shunyavad. That means our Srila Prabhupada's Pranati mantra is Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Desha Thalini. So Gauravani Pracharini. So Srila Prabhupada on this celebration of 125 year appearance celebration, we will be glorifying how Srila Prabhupada preached the Gauravani, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which included the teaching of all the four bona fide sampradayas. That's what we are saying. Srila Prabhupada, he preached the Gauravani, the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which included the teachings of all the four Vaishnava sampradayas, and how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu encouraged to do Radha Krishna worship. And in the first session, we discussed why Radha Krishna worship has to be done, where we take on the song of Narottam Das Thakur, where he says that one who does not worship Radha and Krishna on the occasion, now we are discussing this on the occasion Jhulan Yatra, that he is knowingly drinking the poison, Hari Hari Vipale, Janamakwala in that song. And what is that poison? He says it is the Janma and, Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. That is the poison. So in Jnana Kanda, what is the poison? That we were discussing about Mayavada. So yesterday we almost finished. So today we continue from there, the further Sampradayas. Hare Krishna. So before that, we will read this song. I think those who are here, you need to open your mobile because all the presentation will not be otherwise known. Audio you can put off, but this should be there. Hare Krishna. So the song is, I will not read in the melodious, I'll just read it. Radha Krishna Prana Mora Jugal Kishora Jivane Marane Dhyaro Nahi Mora Kalindira Tule Keli Kadambe Ravana Ratana Devira Upara Bushabho Du Ajana Shama Gauri Dibo Chandanera Gandha Chamara Gulabo Kabeheri Mukha Chandra Gatiya Magatir Maradibo Tuhera Gale Adare Tulia Vivo Karpura Tambule. So the translation is the divine couple, Sri Sri Radha and Krishna are my life and soul. In life or death, I have no other refuge but them. So the whole 5 days class we started from this first stanza of this song. The divine couple, Sri Sri Radha and Krishna are my life and soul. In life or death, I have no other refuge but them. So why they are our refuge? That's what we are discussing from the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which also based on the teachings of all four bona fide sampradayas. In the forest of small kadamba trees on the bank of the Yamuna, I will see the divine couple on a throne made of brilliant jewels. I will anoint their dark and fair forms with sandalwood, scented with kuya, and I will fan them with a chamar whisk. Oh, when will I behold their moon-like faces? After stringing together garlands of Malati flowers, I will place them around their necks, and I will offer tambula scented with camphor to their lotus mouths. How many of you heard today's morning class? Hare Krishna. Today's morning class, Radha Krishna Prabhu from Chaupati was explaining how the Sakhis, actually they decorate and they facilitate Radha and Krishna in the Jhulan Yatra. Hare Krishna. So now, glorification of Srila Prabhupada, that why we should worship the Radha and Krishna. So that one is in this prayer, our prayer. Shri Vigrahara Dhananityanana Shringaratan Mandira Marjanadav Yuktasya Bhaktam Saniyinjatopi Vande Guru Shri Charanaravinda. So translation of this particular prayer is, the spiritual master is always engaged in the temple worship of Shri Radha and Krishna. He also engages his disciple in such worship. So this is our parampara, Vaishnava parampara. The spiritual master worships Shri Radha and Krishna, and also he makes his disciples worship Shri Radha and Krishna. That is why we worship Radha and Krishna, almost all ISKCON temples and all the festivals related to Shri Radha and Krishna also we celebrate. Hare Krishna. So now we'll go back to our yesterday. This is where we yesterday stopped. That what is the Mayavada philosophy and what are the anomalies which is explained in Padma Purana, narrated in Chaitanya Charitamrita. We took it. So today, the last we discussed yesterday was what is the root, who is the root cause for this Mayavadi philosophy? Anybody in the class was there? So who is the root cause? Yeah. So this one, we discussed this actually. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after explaining the Mayavada philosophy, then he comes to the conclusion in this shloka. Tanhara Nahika Dosha Ishvara Ajñapana Gaunartha Karila Mukhya Artha Achadiya. He says, Shankaracharya is not at fault, for it is under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that he has covered the real purport of the Vedas. So yesterday we discussed in detail that. Balwant Prabhu, you want something? Hare Krishna?
No, Prabhuji, sorry. I had because you asked to raise hand, na, who had heard the morning lecture. That's when I raised. Sorry, I'll go hand.
Okay. So Shankaracharya is not at fault, for it's under the order of Supreme Godhead that he has covered the real purport of the Vedas. So we understood what are the consequences of this Mayavada philosophy. There are 13 points. It's already there in the earlier class. So now we are discussing whether Shankaracharya was at fault or somebody else was at fault. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu is declaring that Shankaracharya is not at fault. Now, there is a very important truth behind it. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is declaring Shankaracharya is at not fault, that means who is actually declaring? Lord Shri Krishna is declaring that Shankaracharya is not at fault, but we need some evidence now. We cannot, okay, Lord is saying, but when the Lord says also, he will give some praman behind it, that why he is not at fault. So this one is actually, Srila Prabhupada, he mentions in Srimad Bhagavatam purport, 4th canto, 24th chapter, 18th verse, he says that even the Lord Shiva appeared to preach Mayavada philosophy at the end of his pastimes in the form of Shankaracharya, he preached the Vaishnava philosophy, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamate. How many of you have a telephone on here? Okay. He stressed worshipping Lord Krishna or Govinda 3 times in this verse, especially warned his followers that they could not possibly achieve deliverance or mukti simply by word jugglery or grammatical puzzles. If one is actually serious to attain mukti, he must worship Lord Krishna. That is Sripada Shankaracharya's last instruction. Okay, Hare Krishna. Now here, Shankaracharya at the end, after he is putting a Siddhanta, Sharirika Bhashya, Vedanta Sutra, which totally misguided, he has asked his disciples, no, now you worship Govinda. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamati. But still, till the next Acharya came, which is Ramanuja Acharya. Shankaracharya was 8th century. Ramanuja came in 11th century. There were 800, 11 plus 3 minus 800 years were there, which was still this Mayavada was continued. It's not that it is gone, because we will hear when we in Sri Sampradaya how much Ramanuja Acharya has to defend against Mayavada. That means Mayavada was still there. For 800 years it's there, and still it is there. That's why the Pranati is Shunyavadi Pracharini, Government President, Shunyavadi Pashat Desha. So now, sometime we need to understand why still the disciples could not take the instruction of Shankaracharya. So there is a one elephant photo is there. That's why I said, what is that represent actually? No, this is, I am making an analogy here. See, first we will discuss this in another angle. See, Shankaracharya in a way, Shankaracharya is Lord Shiva himself, as we discussed yesterday. In the Samudra Manthan, Lord Shiva drank the poison to save all the living entity. But in his incarnation as Shankaracharya, he misguided the whole Vedanta sutras, Veda, in order that people are misguided. Ignorance is created. And that one is also desire of the Lord. Now, how can we understand that this desire of the Lord is for what purpose? For what purpose the Lord is trying to do this? So we will take one small incident from Srimad Bhagavatam from Jaya Vijay's instance to understand this. See, Jaya Vijay's problem was with the four Kumaras. Four Kumaras and Jaya Vijay, they had the problem. They did not allow them to go inside, so the clash was between them. Then Lord came in between. Actually, Lord interfered between them. And what the Lord has asked Jaya Vijay, what do you want? You want 3 births as the demons, or you need 100 births? No? How many births? 7 births as the devotees. But now, first of all, Lord, instead of asking that you could have made a judgment, since you made a committee, and the goddess Lakshmi said you should go down, you could have said, because you committed this offense, you should go to material world. That's how you can go during the pandemic, so that you can die fast and come back. And Kali Yuga you can go, no need to go Satya Yuga for 100,000 years, or Dwapar Yuga for 10,000, or sorry, Treta Yuga and Dwapar Yuga for 1,000 years, and Kali Yuga 100. You can go in Kali Yuga, because 4 Kumaras did not say go now. It's just comes that you have to take material birth. So they could have taken any time. But still the Lord asked them, you want 3 birth or you want 7 birth? So they choose 3 birth. Now 3 birth they took as the demons. 3 birth when they come in demons like Hiranyakshi, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, and Dantavaka, Shishupal, how much calamities they created. For this calamity, now who is responsible? See, people have suffered a lot. In Hiranyakshi, Hiranyakashipu, in Ravana and Kumbhakarna, in Shishupal and Dantavakra, that time all the people were there. They suffered just because the problem between Jaya Vijay and 4 Kumaras. Now the question, if you go and ask the Lord, now the people are innocent in this time. So why they have to go all under suffering because of these 2 people's problem? So what could be the answer actually? You know, I will give one more example to say this. What could be the answer? The answer is in Bhagavad Gita actually. So think like this: one rich person has got a very, very powerful elephant. One day this elephant gets mad and it goes to a big banana plantation and spoils everything. All the plants is spoils. And then the owner of that elephant comes. What he does, he nicely takes this elephant and starts to go. Then the owner of the land comes. He has spoiled everything, my plants, everything. Now, who will pay my cost? Like we are asking the Lord, the suffering of this living entity, who is responsible? So where is my cost? So what the owner says, you don't worry about it. I am a owner of a bank. Tomorrow you come to the bank, not this, the plant, the banana plant. You don't have to plant single plant. I will go so much wealth. You don't have to think about the wealth also. And the person gets the wealth. So this example, you take the same thing Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma chame divyam evam yochat evotatva taktvata taktvadem punarjanma naiti manits Arjuna. So all the pastime, Lord is the root cause. He creates in order that we remember him and we go back to him. So we cannot say who is suffering, who is not suffering. For us only to remember the Lord's pastime. So even this pastime of Shankaracharya to come, the Lord to say, it is because the material world is created for the purpose of Dukkhalam Ashashvatam, as we said. So here, every moment the Dukkha should be there. Everybody should create miserable condition. This world is not for creating any peaceful condition. As we said, neither the leader of the society will be perfect, nor the leader of the spiritual order will also be perfect. That is, if we see this, Shankaracharya, first of all, Vishnu Swami came before Christ 3. Then Shankaracharya came 8. That means 1100 years afterwards. Then came Ramanuja, 11th century. That means after 300 years. Then Madhvacharya, 12th or 13, 200 years. Caitanya Mahaprabhu came now. So how many years difference between one saintly person to appear in the spiritual world? Until that time, whatever is prevailing, they have to go on suffering. There is nobody can save them. If only one is fortunate enough to have in the bona fide sampradaya, then they may get liberation. So here, so we understand from here, Shankaracharya, even at the end of his time, he declared that Bhaja Govinda, but still his followers could not take it. So that's why he said, we have to go to another pastime of the Lord to go, Gajendra Moksham. In Gajendra Moksham, Gajendra was actually so much intoxicated when he entered the water. And then the crocodile caught him. But how many years it took for him to remember the Lord? 1000 years. So when the Siddhanta of Shankaracharya is so strong, so profound, and it was like from Buddhism, he brought them to one of the reasons the Lord Shankaracharya appeared also. The other major reason is that Buddhists were not believing in the Vedas. So actually the Vedas has to be established, and the Vedas has to be established, then the only way to tell them is that you are also God. That is one of the Mayavada philosophy. The living entity and the Lord, there is no difference. So if there is no difference, then living entity becomes God. So it's one of them. See, that is one of the main purpose of Shankaracharya actually coming and misguiding the Vedas. So here in Gajendra Moksha, Gajendra, it took 1000 years, still is all intoxication gone. That means ignorance gone. And then he come to his senses to pray the Lord, and the Lord to appear and to liberate him. So the same way here from the Shankaracharya's teaching to come Sri Sampradaya Ramanuja, it takes 800 years. Still that time, we will hear from Ramanujacharya, Srila Prabhupada's very strong statement is there, that till that time it was going, the intoxication of that particular philosophy. But it is actually intentional for a different purpose, to bring Buddhism, Vaidism, Nirvana, to believe in the scriptures. In the beginning, that's the whole purpose. So now we will go for Sampradayas to defy and rectify the flaws. So we have 4 Sampradayas to defy the Sharirika Bhashya, Shankaracharya's comment on Vedanta Sutras. All 4 bona fide Sampradayas have written their own commentaries. Their commentaries are Vedanta Sutra are based upon the philosophy that Lord is the master and that all living entities are his eternal servants. The only way to achieve liberation from the material entanglement is through bhakti or loving devotional service. So Srila Prabhupada, this is what he gave us, that the Supreme Lord we should worship. That's the Siddhanta of all the 4 bona fide Sampradayas. Now those who are looking at the chart in the telephone, you get a chart. So Rudra Sampradaya, it is 3rd century before Shankaracharya. The Sampradaya Acharya is Vishnu Swami, and also in this parampara came Sri Vallabha Bhatta Acharya. So Vishnu Swami written comment on Vedanta called Sarvajna Bhashya, and is Tattva Shuddha Advaitavada, purified monism. Then Sri Sampradaya, Srila Ramanujacharya, Sri Bhashya, Vishishta Advaitavada, and his worshipable Lord was actually Sri Sitaram and Lakshmanarayan. Then Brahma Sampradaya, Madhvacharya the Sampradaya Acharya, Purna Prajna Bhashya is his Siddhanta, Shuddha Advaitavada, and Lord Shri Krishna is the worshipable Lord. And Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, same parampara, Brahma Sampradaya. Sri Govinda Bhashya is the commentary Siddhanta on Vedanta Sutra, which is written by Baladev Vidyabhushana. Achintya Veda Abheda Tattvada, and Lord Shri Radha Krishna is the worshipable Lord. And then Kumara Sampradaya, Sri Nimbarka, Parijata Saurabha Bhashya, Dvaita Advaitavada, Sri Radha Krishna is the worshipable Lord. So this is the chart. We will be taken briefly about this. So now Rudra Sampradaya. So before we go to Rudra Sampradaya to learn or to understand at least, because we are not qualified, even we don't have that qualification. But in the beginning, I mentioned what is the purpose of mentioning this. The purpose is that when we are misguided in understanding the worship of Radha and Krishna, then it takes a lot of time, life after life, to understand properly what is the worship of Radha Krishna. Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanamanam Prabhatate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samatma Sudurlabha. So to prove that Vasudeva is everything, all these bona fide acharyas put a lot of effort to write this Vedanta Sutra, comment on Vedanta Sutra. So first in Rudra Sampradaya, it comes from Lord Shiva, And now, why this is first? Who is Shankaracharya? We said Lord Shiva, he came. But the same Lord Shiva has given a sampradaya to achieve that same Lord. So they work. That is why we said Janma Karmacha Me Divyam. This Lord, he works in such a way that if we go deep in understanding his past and we become bewildered, how can be Shankaracharya, Lord Shiva, who drank the poison to say out the living entity? Then he came as Shankaracharya, he poisoned the Shastras, misguided them, and he has given a sampradaya to take everybody back to Godhead. Rudra Sampradaya is belong to Lord Shiva only. So in Lord Shiva, so what is his boon? First we have to understand. So this shloka is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 24th chapter, 76th verse. Lord Shiva to 10 sons of Prachina Barhi. So there, I will not read the shloka is there. He says, although rendering devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and worshipping him are very difficult, if one vibrates or simply reads this stotra, prayer, composed and sung by me, he will very easily be able to invoke the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the empowerment of Lord Shiva. He says, who sings Rudra prayers, they will easily invoke the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he himself declares that it is not easy to worship, render devotional service to Radha and Krishna. Because to understand that philosophy is really very difficult actually. And then we need to understand what Srila Prabhupada's mode on that, on Rudra Sampradaya. So Prabhupada, here he says, Lord Shiva takes charge of reforming persons who are ghosts and demons, not to speak of others who are godly. So this is actually this is what Prabhupada's mood also. When we are celebrating Prabhupada's 125th year, he says, Lord Shiva takes charge of reforming persons who are ghosts and demons, not to speak of others who are godly. If Srila Prabhupada wanted to remain in Radha Damodar temple Vrindavan, he could have easily remained among the Vaishnavas and be there. But he gone to a Pashyatya Desha, which was actually very ghastly actually. Melecha. Therefore, he is a spiritual master of everyone, both the dull and the demonic, and highly learned Vaishnavas. So, Srila Prabhupada says that Lord Shiva is the spiritual master of everyone, both the dull and the demonic and the highly learned Vaishnavas. It is also stated, Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu. Shambhu, Lord Shiva is the greatest of all Vaishnavas. On one hand, he is the worshipable object of the dull demons, and on the other hand, he is the best of all Vaishnavas, one of the Mahajanas, and he has a sampradaya called Rudra Sampradaya. So why we are discussing this in these classes is that because it's authorized by our founder Acharya. All the 4 sampradayas which we are discussing entirely based on Srila Prabhupada's teaching, not directly going to their sampradaya teaching, Siddhanta. No, Srila Prabhupada. What Srila Prabhupada wanted us to understand about the sampradaya, that's what we are trying to understand. And what Caitanya Mahaprabhu has got on the sampradaya, that we are studying. Because from every sampradaya, Caitanya Mahaprabhu took 2 principles, philosophy from that. So that is what we are discussing. So Rudra Sampradaya, the Acharya is actually Vishnu Swami. Then we actually mentioned there, if you go to their website, Rudra Sampradaya, there are 3 Vishnu Swamis are there. But our Parampara, which Srila Prabhupada refers to, is Vishnu Swami, the original Vishnu Swami, who is in the before 3rd century BC, before Christian era. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So both Jiva Goswami, that's what I said, teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Both Jiva Goswami in his Bhagavad Sandarbha and Krishnadasa Kaviraja Goswami in his Chaitanya Charitamrita look to Sripad Vishnu Swami for inspiration, established essential difference between God and individual souls, and quote from his Sarvajna Sukta, his commentary on Vedanta. So our philosophy, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya philosophy, Achintya Veda, Abheda Tattva, and the teachings given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his followers, here Jiva Goswami and also Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami who written Chaitanya Charitamrita. In order to understand the difference between individual soul and God, Atma and Paramatma, they took the essence from Rudra Sampradaya. Then Vishnu Swami was the first to adopt Tridandi Sannyasa, which he brought into practice among his 700 sannyasa disciples. So we understand Chaitanya Charitamrita is saying that Mayavadi sannyasis carry a stick danda of Ekadanda, but ours Vaishnava Sampradaya 3 danda. Kayena Vacha, mind, word, and the body. And then also 4th, they have 3. The words, Kaya, body, mind, and words 3, plus 4. The rod has got these 3, plus the main rod, that is the person himself. So 4. This is our Vaishnava Sampradaya. And Vishnu Swami is the one who introduced it. This is what it says. So his philosophy is Shuddha Advaita, or pure transcendental duality, or purified monism. Distinct difference between Lord Shiva, but not distinct between Lord and Jiva, and not equal. Okay, we'll go back. If you're here you'll just read, it may confuse. So Shankaracharya's philosophy was Advaita philosophy, which means non-dual. What he was Advaita means what he was trying to prove was there is no difference between the living entity and there is no difference between the Supreme Lord, Advaita. There is no difference. So Rudra Sampradaya, Vishnu Swami also saying it is Advaita only, but Shuddha Advaita. Shuddha Advaita means between them there is no difference. Why? The living entity is part and parcel. But why it is purified, even though they are the same quality, but there is a difference of magnitude. So all of this Sampradaya, they wanted to defeat Shankaracharya based on his philosophy to understand that where it has been misinterpreted. That's what they're bringing back. Actually, Ramanujacharya is the best among all who actually defeats one by one. It's very nice. So, and his commentary on Vedanta is Sarvajna Bhashya, and Lord of worship is Lord Rama and Lord Narasimhadeva. Philosophy is based on Lord and his parts and material world. That means all these Sampradaya Acharyas, they took 3 things together. One is the Lord, then the Jiva, and then the Prakriti, which is the link between them. When the living entity comes to material world, the material world is also has got existence. So how through this material world they go back to Godhead? So his philosophy is everything is pure, including the material universe that is created by God and intimately related to him. So in Varaha we can understand when the earth was in the water, the Lord lifted. Then the concept of Leela, or the pastimes by which God can be transcendental and immanent, existing or operating within. So in Shariraka Bhashya, Shankaracharya claimed that the Lord takes a material form. He is not transcendental. You the Brahman Satya, he said, but his form which he takes in the material world is Manusha form, material. That's why Krishna says, Avajananti Mamuda, Manushindarim Ashritam. That means people consider the Lord when he comes as an ordinary human being. But in the Shuddha Advaita, Vishnu Swami is saying, no, his Leelas proves that he is transcendental. His body is not an ordinary human being. This is what is proving. And beyond the concept of material form, and the Lord when he appears in this material world, Hare Krishna. And also what Vishnu Swami is saying, that the Lord's incarnations are not destined like us. The living entity comes to this material world. We comes because of our karma, or the prakriti, what the body gives us. We have to take that body, and according to our desire, we have to come. If you are in the mode of goodness, mode of passion, or mode of ignorance, we take different spaces. But the Lord is coming according to his will. So that is the difference between the living entity and the Lord when they come to this material world, because the material world is also part of the Lord and it is connected with him, which actually Ramanuja makes very more specific clear. So this is the philosophy of Vishnu Swami and the Rudra Sampradaya we're discussing. So Vishnu Swami, he gives prominence to Rama, the previous incarnation of Krishna. Now teachings adopted by Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu from this philosophy is actually, this is quoted by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his book Sri Navadip Dham Mahatmya, quotes how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu extracted 2 principles from Rudra Sampradaya. That means our teachings is complete. Even the impersonal teaching we take and then we defend them of Shankaracharya, Sharirika Bhasya, Mayavada, then we take all the 4 Sampradayas. That means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sampradaya, which is Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, Tattva Achintya Beda Beda. This includes everything, whatever philosophy is given by the human history, by all saintly persons. It includes everything. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Namo Mahavadanya, he did not leave anybody out. Shankaracharya's philosophy proved that it is wrong, but he proved how it is wrong and where the correction has to be done. But he did not reject Shankaracharya. He says, no, he is not at fault. Hare Krishna. So now what is the 2 philosophies? The sentiment of total dependence on Krishna, Tadiya Sarvasya Bhava. The sentiment of total dependence on Krishna. So what this Tadiya Sarvasya Bhasva, where we can remember Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teaching. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not write Siddhanta on Vedanta Sutra. It is written by his follower, Vidyabhushana. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in writing only gives Sistastaka. That means all this Siddhanta which is given by 4 Sampradaya must be in Sistastaka. It has to be. So here, Tadiya Sarvasya Bhashya. So Sistastaka verse number 8. Verse number 8. Ashlishya Vapandaratam Pinansumam Adarshanam Man Mahatam Karatua Yata Tata Vidat Lampato Matprana Natastu Saeva Napara Matprana, total dependence. So there the prayer is given, whether you are present with me or no, you are my worshipable Lord all the time. And then this is from Rudra Sampradaya. We can take now. I don't have anything writing to support that this is, but this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, total dependence. But in his prayer, we can see that how is total depend on the Lord in that prayer. Then the path of spontaneous devotional service, Raga Marga. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took also Raga Marga. Why Raga Marga? Because Vishnu Swami propagated the Leelas of the Lord. He was believing the Lord. He said in Leela, it is the Lord's own desire is coming. So it cannot be compared to ordinary human being. So now we are spontaneous devotions, Raga Marga. So in which verse we can connect this to Sistastaka? Raga Marga. I put there already. Those are seeing the mobile. So Naranam Janam Sundarin Kavitam Vajakadisha Kamahe Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavata Bhaktir Haituk. In the next slide, I put it there. I know now this one. Oh Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your costless devotional service, birth after birth. So that is spontaneous devotional service. See, what is the difference between Raga Marga and Vaidhi Marga, Vidhi Marga or Vaidhi Marga? See, Vaidhi Marga is one which we have to do as per the sadhana. Raga Marga is the one. Raga Marga is there. I put the definition of Raga, which is given to Prabhupada itself. Worship according to the Pancharatrika Vidhi is called Vidhi Marga or Vaidhi Marga. And worship according to the Bhagavata Vidhi principle is called Raga Marga. The principles of Raga Marga are especially meant for devotees who are elevated to the Vrindavana platform. Vrindavana platform, we see like Nadanam, Najana, Sundarin, they did not desire anything from the Lord. They only wanted the Lord's pleasure. So that is Raga Marga. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his Sistasaka, he bring all this philosophy, what the great Acharyas gave in his teachings, which is Sistastaka. Hare Krishna, I think I'll conclude here. So next, from tomorrow we'll be taking Sri Sampradaya. Actually, Sri Sampradaya is the one who elaborately fight against Mayavada philosophy, and is the way Sri Ramanujacharya actually taken up. It's very nice, but here we are only discussing their philosophy, we are not discussing their life teachings. But again, like we see in the case of Lord Shiva, Shankaracharya, that when it comes to Ramanujacharya, he did not, I repeat, he did not downsize Shankaracharya. That means the Lord, even it's all his arrangement, still he gave the same respect to Shankaracharya and Ramanujacharya. So what is the proof? What is the pramana we have from the Shastra? he did not allow Ramanujacharya to change the worship in Jagannath Puri as well as in there's one more place, it's called Guruvayur. Yeah. He did not allow to change. That means he kept Shankara. That means Shankaracharya worship also. It's only our understanding. We should know where we get connected with Krishna. Even Shankaracharya, if you follow Bhajagovinda, we connect with Krishna. But if you stick to his philosophy like the mad elephant Gajendra, 1000 years, because we intoxication has to be in the water, then we will not be able to go. Yes, when that Siddhanta was given to his disciples, the disciples were so strong in the philosophy, just because he said Bhajagovinda, they could not immediately transfer. I mean, we are saying that because they did not leave that philosophy, they still continued and continued when Caitanya Mahaprabhu, that is the whole Mayavadi philosophy, spoke from only one verse, which Srila Prabhupada written the purport of the 7th chapter, 110 verse, the discussion with Prakashananda Saraswati, the Adi Leela, one purport we discussed. In that purport, we can understand Prakashananda Saraswati, how much strong he was in Mayavadi philosophy. And there Caitanya Mahaprabhu, at the end he proved, yes, what you are saying is okay as for Shankaracharya, but Shankaracharya not at fault. So you should understand the mood of Shankaracharya. That's how Prakashananda Saraswati changed. That's how Prakashananda Saraswati has changed. Caitanya Mahaprabhu transformed that. But that philosophy remained, unfortunately. So tomorrow we are discussing about Sri Sampradaya, where Sri Ramanujacharya, how he defended Vaishnava philosophy and his teachings he gave. Hare Krishna, because it is 7 o'clock, we have to go for Sandhya Arati. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jhulan Yatra Mahotsav ki jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Sumadhura Caitanya Prabhu ki jai.
Gurudev ki jai.
Thank you very much for attending for the wonderful class. You have a question? Sorry, not yeah.
No,
maybe tomorrow you can take. Hare Krishna. So now there will be Arati. So since we have many devotees here, I request everyone maintain the distance, especially Mataji. We always notice